Hey there, welcome back to Event Trends by Eventify. My name is Kevin Rosenquist, and today we're diving into something that's really changed the game for brands trying to cut through all the noise out there. Experiential events. You know, we've all been to those events where you're just sitting there, watching slides, maybe nodding off a little. But experiential events, they're the complete opposite. They're immersive, they're interactive, and honestly, they're what people actually remember weeks and months later. So whether you're planning a product launch, a brand activation, or just trying to create something that actually resonates with your audience, stick around. We're going to break down what makes these events work. We're going to share some killer examples and give you practical strategies you can actually use. Let's jump in. First things first, what exactly are experiential events? Well, here's the simple version. They're two-way interactions. Your attendees aren't just showing up to watch something happen, they're part of it. They're touching things, trying things, creating things. They're not passive observers anymore. They're active participants in your brand story. And that's the key difference between experiential events and traditional conferences or trade shows. Instead of just broadcasting your message, you're creating an environment where people actually feel something, where they connect with your brand on an emotional level. Think about it this way. When was the last time you remembered a PowerPoint presentation versus the last time you remembered an experience? That is what we're after here. We want to transform your brand messaging into lived moments that people talk about, that they share on social media, that they actually remember. Now, what makes these events work? There are really 6 core components. First, audience engagement and participation. This is about getting people involved, live demos, hands-on activities, letting them actually interact with your product or service. Research shows that people are driven by sensations and emotions, not just features and bullet points. Second, creativity and immersive storytelling. You're creating an environment, not just an event. Think about using lights, sounds, visuals, all coming together to tell your brand story in a way that people can actually experience. Third, digital and hybrid integration. Look, not everyone can show up in person, right? So you're using AR, VR, streaming, mobile apps to extend your reach. Your on-site attendees get the full installation. Your remote folks can engage through virtual reality or other interactive platforms. Number 4, brand alignment and measurable outcomes. This can't just be cool for cool's sake. It needs to tie back to your business goals, whether that's boosting retention, generating leads, or building awareness. And you need KPIs to track whether it's actually working. At number 5, sensory and environment design. We're talking about activating multiple senses, sight, sound, even scent and touch. Fashion brands are doing this really well using ambient scenting and themed lighting to create a complete mood. And number 6, social sharing. You want to turn your attendees into brand advocates. Create those Instagrammable moments, those selfie zones. Give people a reason to post about your event. Because when they do, you're reaching way beyond the people who actually showed up. All right, so now that we know what makes these events tick, let's talk about the different formats you can use. Because experiential events aren't one size fits all. Brand activations and product launches are all about generating buzz and getting your product into people's hands. Think interactive demos, pop-ups, hands-on launches. If you're a tech startup launching a new gadget, this is your format. Immersive storytelling and themed installations are where you go deep. You're creating a fully branded environment where people immerse themselves in your story. Maybe it's a luxury retailer creating a themed exhibit with multi-sensory elements. This is about emotional impact and deeper brand connection. Digital and hybrid experiences blend physical and virtual participation. You've got people on site enjoying live installations and remote attendees engaging through VR or interactive platforms. This is huge for global reach and making sure everyone feels included. And community-driven or network-focused events are about building relationships. Workshops, roundtables, matchmaking sections. You're not just broadcasting your message, you're facilitating connections between your attendees and building lasting relationships. So let me share some examples that really nail this approach, because seeing what others have done makes it so much easier to visualize what you could do. So BFGoodrich brought influencers and drivers to Alaska for a rugged test drive of their KO3 all-terrain tires. They documented everything through video and social content, giving people authentic proof of performance. That's a product launch that actually proves the point. Canon partnered with the Royal National Institute for Blind People to create tactile photography exhibits with audio descriptions in Braille. They turned accessibility into a powerful brand story while educating sighted audiences. That's using experiential events to expand your brand's purpose. Corona at the Paris Olympics transformed Paris landmarks into relaxation spaces during the Games. They tied product use to cultural moments and earned attention way beyond standard sponsorship. Emergency set up a sensory tunnel and rest areas at JFK Airport. They targeted tired travelers who might be stressed and interested in boosting their immunity. While people rested, they got free samples. Perfect audience, perfect moment, perfect product fit. FX created scream chambers where people recorded screams that got mixed into a commercial track. Attendees co-created the marketing assets. That generated massive media coverage and social sharing. Nike and Dick's ran mobile basketball clinics for girls with WNBA talent appearances and local grants. They drove immediate engagement while making a long-term community investment. Lego ran a sustainability challenge asking kids to design future schools, then amplified submissions online. A low-cost way to generate meaningful, user-generated content and align with social impact. Qatar Airways created an AI short film campaign where users could insert their photos into a romantic travel film. Highly personalized, highly shareable content that blends novelty with aspiration. The point is, experiential events come in all shapes and sizes. What matters is matching the format to your goals and your audience. All right, so how do you actually plan one of these? Well, let me walk you through the key strategies that'll set you up for success. Strategy 1, define your goals and audience. Start with 2 to 3 SMART goals, not vague stuff like raise awareness. I mean specific outcomes like generate 300 qualified leads or increase product trials by 20%. Then define your audience personas. Who are they? What are their pain points? What channels do they use? This dictates everything else, your tone, your access points, your activation style. Strategy number 2, design the experience. Turn those goals into a tangible visitor journey. What do you want attendees to feel, do, or share? Then design zones and activities to guide them toward that. Map out an emotional arc, maybe curiosity to discovery to action. Include at least 3 interactive elements. And don't forget that shareable moment, a selfie wall, a photo booth, something people will want to post. Pro tip here, prioritize 1 or 2 standout experiences rather than spreading yourself thin with a bunch of small gimmicks. At number 3, pick your tech and measurement tools. You need technology that supports both user experience and tracking. Think registration platforms, mobile apps, lead capture tools, survey tools. But here's the critical part. Measurement has to be embedded from day one. Every touch point should map to a KPI and a data source. Test all your integrations 2 to 4 weeks before the event, because the last thing you want is tech failures when people are walking through the door. Strategy 4, nail those logistics. Build a Racky chart so everyone knows who's responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. Create a detailed run of show. Set clear vendor SLAs. Run a full tech and staff rehearsal 48 to 72 hours before. Assign someone to each central zone to maintain flow and troubleshoot. And have a clear escalation matrix for tech failures or any other issues that might pop up. Number 5, promotion and pre-event engagement. Drive the right attendees and prime them to participate. Use segmented email flows, create teaser content on social, maybe give them pre-event tasks like surveys or polls to personalize their on-site experience. Use incentives, exclusive access, limited seating to encourage early registration and reduce those no-shows. Strategy number 6, execute and optimize in real time. During the event, collect live data and be ready to adjust on the fly. Set up a command center with a dashboard monitoring your KPIs. Have daily briefings with staff. Capture attendee feedback with quick 1 or 2 question surveys delivered in real time. Monitor social mentions and amplify user-generated content as it's happening. If one zone is getting way more engagement, reallocate resources there. And finally, strategy number 7, measure and improve. After your event, pull your KPI dashboards and compare it to your targets. Send segmented follow-ups within 24 to 72 hours while memory and intent are fresh. Do a post-mortem with your team and vendors. Document what worked and what to improve on. And turn your event assets into evergreen content. That video footage and those photos, they're your blog posts, your social content, your case studies for the next 6 months. So how do you know if your experiential event actually worked? You can't just count heads and call it a day. You need to track attendee behavior, check-ins, dwell time at key zones, number of interactions. That tells you if people were actually engaged or just passing through. Measure social engagement, hashtag usage, social shares, content downloads. That reflects the excitement and value people found. Count those leads and conversions. How many leads did you generate and what percentage moved to the next stage of your funnel? Use pre- and post-event surveys to measure brand perception. Did people's feelings about your brand actually shift? And calculate your financial return. Actual revenue generated from leads and attendees. That's how you get your budget for the next one. The key is tying everything back to your original goals. If you said you wanted 300 qualified leads and you got 285, that's not failure. That's 285 leads you can work with and data you can use to optimize next time. Hey, the marketing world is saturated. People are tired of being sold to. Whether you're launching a product, building brand loyalty, or just trying to stand out in a crowded market, experiential events give you a way to turn ordinary campaigns into stories that people actually want to be a part of. If you're planning an experiential event and want help navigating strategy, execution, and measurement, check out Eventify at eventify.io. We help you craft the right experience, measure what matters, and drive real results. Hey, thanks for tuning in to Event Trends by Eventify. I'm Kevin Rosenquist. Until next time, keep creating those experiences worth remembering.